Aloha no kako, o wau o Joshua Lanakila o Ka'aina I Kapono Manguau, and we're coming to you from Hamakua, Hawaii Island. I'm the Executive Director of the Hawaiian Cultural Center of Hamakua, and we are proud to be partnering with Ulu Co-op of Hawaii to help to bring these cultural and these educational videos to you, to help to share more of the diverse usage of this beautiful, healthy Hawaiian starch, Polynesian starch, Pacific starch, tropical starch of ulu, or the breadfruit. And I'm joining with me again today, Ms. Darlene Kamayo, my tita nui, and we have another great recipe for you guys today to see how we can use our ulu.
Yes. So one of the things I wanted to is thanks Josh, or Lanakila. I keep calling you Josh. Either way. Is that it's gluten free.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that ulu is gluten free. So if you have issues with gluten and you cannot have, ulu is the perfect substitute. So there you go. There you have it. So what we're making today is ulu patties. Yum yum. So we did a little bit of sweet last time. Now we're doing some savory. The uses of ulu is pretty much unlimited. They now make ulu flour, so you can do breads. You can
that's great for that gluten.
Yeah, gluten-free bread. Yeah, exactly. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Some grocery stores, and I'm not sure exactly which ones, they are now selling parboiled, vacuum sealed, frozen ulu, and it's like a half of ulu, and there you go. So if you feel like I don't know where I'm gonna get ulu from, check your grocer. They might have. If not, ask them. You can go online. I know there's a couple of different coalitions and organizations that are working to bring ulu more to the forefront in our diets here. So there's different ways to get it.
Of course, supporting local too at your local farmers markets and such too.
Exactly.
And also, taking the time to walk around your own communities. There's a lot of wild ulu that grows in the gulches or in our communities, and a lot of people not utilizing it. But be sure you ask permission.
I was just gonna say, don't go trespassing.
Don't go trespass. Go because one tree can produce so much
more ulu than one.
And I'm sure like real Hawaiian style too. You take the time to offer or to help out or to clean or ask your neighbors. Most time, everyone's willing to share. And that's a beautiful thing about our ulu. It helps us all to grow.
Exactly. So we're taking a really basic recipe. In Hawaii, we loved our canned goods, and you can always do fresh, but if not, hey, it is what it is. You come home, you don't know what's for dinner, do this. Grab one package of pre-mixed chop suey vegetables, bean sprouts, green onions, celery, carrots, daikon, radish in there. Or you can chop up your own. You can add green beans, whatever you want, and take that mixture. 1 can of corned beef, whichever brand you prefer. There's the more meaty one with more texture to it. There's the the usual one that we all grew up eating, corned beef and onion with. I'm adding some cilantro to add some brightness and freshness to that. A couple eggs for binding, and I like to use my own homemade. Garlic salt. We put Hawaiian salt. And add some garlic powder, fresh garlic, and just put them in the oven a little bit, and there you go. You get your own seasoning salt. And then we're going to use our ulu, and what we're going to do is we're going to shred it up like this.
Okay,
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you this bowl and the grater, and I'm going to peel. Now this is our previously cooked ulu that we had in the freezer. We've defrosted it. It's parboiled. If you didn't see our first video where we talked about prepping ulu, go look for it. It's out there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it, and Lanakila, you're gonna grate it.
Alrighty.
And what we're looking for is roughly, I would say, about 3 cups of grated ulu.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 cups of grated ulu. And if you have a food processor, you just can drop it in, it's a lot faster. Or you can be the food processor like you're doing there and grate it. And see how easy it is, to grate.
It's nice.
And you can kind of see the texture. It's a little different than the fresh ulu, right? And it's because it was frozen. But when we cook it, it will totally reconstitute those starch
Starches
molecules,
regrab.
grab each other and hang on and become all yummy.
Right, and like you saw too, as she cut it in our previous video, she showed you how going ahead and boiling the whole thing makes the skin removal, ka'iwi, removing the skin super easier.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like, this is one that I parboiled, and you can see that, I mean, the skin pretty much just scrapes right off.
Right.
But it makes it so much easier. You're not dealing with all the sticky sap and all of that stuff. So again, if you haven't watched our first video on how to prepare ulu, how to store ulu, please go ahead, find the video, go check it out. Okay. Now don't be grating your fingers in there.
Right. Now you notice toward the center, this little the spongy center.
Yeah, we get all the puka-pukas,
Yeah, it tends to be a little bit, you can feel a little gritty, or it's a little difficult to...
Harder.
It's a little harder to
grade.
Yeah. Because of the consistency of the core.
Yeah.
All right.
So also what I like to do is, if I have a big ulu, like that one is like 5 to 6 pounds, I usually do a half, and then I'll take the half and I'll quarter that. So in one recipe like this would basically be a quarter of an ulu.
Okay.
Versus a half. Our other episode we did candied ulu, and for that, I did about 3/4 of a ulu. I did a half and a 1/8. So
the half of 1/8.
Yeah. We talked about our fractions. But anyway, so we're doing roughly, a half.
It's the same consistency of grating cheese, I tell you.
yeah, and it looks like cheese too, yeah?
Yep.
Well,
then it come mixed up with your mozzarella.
Yeah. So the other thing is, we've been saying, so you can go, give me that, I'll take this, and then you can add that in there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good job.
Nice hash.
Yeah, there you go, breakfast hash.
Breakfast hash.
Fry that up in the morning, some eggs. Oh, you'd be good to go.
Oh.
Right? And the other thing is, like, we've been talking about, like, ulu as a substitute for potatoes. Okay. So you could actually take the ulu and you could do thin slices of it and do, instead of potatoes au gratin, do ulu au gratin with cheese and all that ooey.
That's another
That's another show. But for today, we're doing this. So what I want to do is we're going to take the bowl that you just had that in. We're going to do our corned beef. Give me that fork right there. Okay. And we will go ahead and crack those eggs in there for me. Now get this stuff out of the way. So the egg is just there to bind it, to hold it all together. Hey, you get eggshells in there, bro.
No.
Yes.
Well. Woo! I'm fired. Hey, get calcium. That's the calcium.
Oh, okay, the calcium. All right. Okay. So I just kind of like to mix up my corned beef with the egg. Instead of, because it'll get a little bit more harder to mix once you put it in the...
So really to get that egg consistency throughout the corned beef.
Yeah.
Before adding in the ulu.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And go ahead, add your cilantro. Okay. And your
cilantro is so healthy for you too.
And here's the pa'akai with the garlic in it. Is there a Hawaiian word for garlic? Homework! Yeah.
Garlic.
Okay, so if any of you out there know, send us a message.
Go vehe.org, which I go.
Okay, there you go. I'm sure somebody's doing that now as we speak. So then that's what you get, right? And then I would combine this, the veggies, with the ulu. Let's take this off a little bit. Mix. And you can do it without the vegetables, or you can just do ulu with the veggies, 2 eggs, and then you got vegetarian.
All right, there's a good one for vegetarians that are okay with egg as well too. Nice for and using the bean sprouts, I would say particularly too. That is your proteins right there. Yeah, for
very high in protein.
Too. So if anybody want to kick back on your red meats and such too, know that it's important. You still need your proteins too. So bean sprouts are great for that.
Yeah, exactly. So then I just kind of like mix it up. And then throw my corned beef in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so even though, I mean, you know, that was like a half. You could go a little bit less on the ulu. And it's gonna be like, what? How am I gonna fry that? Believe me, it'll fry up. It'll fry up. If you want to, you can add another egg in there. You know. So you see how much yeah, you get out of just that little bit. So you got, it takes a little bit to mix it though. So and I like to do the mix mash thing. You know, just so.
You go to it, you can go with your limas, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
And that's my favorite kitchen tool is my hands.
Right.
You know, so.
It's all going on a cook anyway. Nice. All right. So we got our corned beef, cilantro, garlic paakay, garlic salt, homemade garlic salt.
Homemade garlic. You don't have to make your own. You can just buy it from the store.
And a consistency to be able to use the basic stir fry vegetable mix and our grated ulu.
So the mixture is gonna look like that. If you wanna make it wetter, more eggy, that's totally up to you. I kind of, you know, to me then that would be egg fouillon with ulu. Right. That's kind of what I say, you know. So I like it a little bit more on the drier side, and then we'll just use our hands, compacted, make patties, and then we'll fry them. Okay. Yeah. So we'll get that stuff ready, and then we'll start cooking up some of our ulu.
All right.
Patties.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start frying our patties. Now, if you're more health conscious and you wanna grill them, I would say add a little bit more egg in so it binds tighter. And what we're looking for is just wash your hands and clean hands, and you just rolling and forming patties. So yeah, I use coconut oil for frying. Healthier, plus it adds another layer of flavor to it. Yeah.
Another Polynesian.
Yeah. Pacific. And it's a healthy oil. It's healthier for you.
That's what we have available.
Yeah, readily available. You can get it anywhere. Now, these might fall apart a little bit. The key to frying them is just let them go. Let them sit. Don't be in a rush to turn them. You should only turn it once and then it's done. Okay. So it's not a flip kind of deal. So I'll let you take over forming the patties, and this is just what we're looking for, and you know, and probably can do maybe 2 or 3 more in there. Okay. And then I'll wash my hands and let them sit for a while. Right.
Ulu buns.
Ulu buns, yes. Ulu buns, yes.
Ulu patty.
Yeah.
It's just in there. And again, this is something we can create all these different dynamic things with this one starch that we have readily available that goes good in this Polynesian environment, tropical environment.
So if you look, you can see the edges are getting a little bit brown. So almost ready. You know, when you think, oh, I'm gonna flip them, step back for a minute. No touch.
Too much play, fall back.
Yeah, it's gonna fall apart.
So you know, thinking about the ulu and how ulu grows and how we're using it in this way. So a powerful thing for me as a practitioner is the concept of ulu too. The word ulu itself means growth. And so the stories that we connect with this plant from this ulu of the god Pu. And Pu was one who offered himself to be able to bring sustenance during difficult times. And for me right now, I'm like, you know, my brain is like going over, I'm hearing stories, and now we're dealing with COVID, and it's a very difficult time. Our communities are struggling. Right here, it's like, the ulu is available. Yeah. You just gotta grab it. So we're hearing of a lot of our families and communities struggling to get food. Our Hawaii food basket is being tapped so heavily. And so really, for everybody, this is an important thing to help get our communities, you know, stabilized in that way, especially with our food. And this is not only just another food, it's local starch, but it's good for us.
Yeah, it's a
It's
healthy
really good
starch.
for us. It's a healthy
Yeah.
starch. We have a lot of ulu. We have the potential to grow a lot of ulu
Yeah.
and replace out a lot of costly things that it takes to ship over
Yeah,
here.
when I went to that workshop a long time ago, that I learned more about potatoes and what they do to potatoes to get, them perfect and big and all of that chemical spraying and stuff, I learned that we have enough ulu in Hawaii right now on all of the islands where we never ever have to import another potato.
Wow.
And if we took, don't get me wrong, I love my potatoes too, I'm Irish, so gotta love that potato, but
Me too.
if we utilize what we have, how much more healthier we would be, you know what I mean?
And it's health for the people, and right now we're in this day and age where we have to be thinking about our environment. So how much we get to cut down on not just the cost, but the impacts of so much transportation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now we're ready to turn.
Ooh, smells so
So yeah,
good.
you see how easy it is to turn it.
Ooh.
You get a nice crisp on it.
Look, that is gorgeous.
Look at that. So if you tried to flip it earlier, I promise you it would have all fell apart.
Wow.
There you go.
Whoa,
So now
wow.
we just gonna let this sit here and do its thing.
Oh, the smell.
Smells, oh no, yeah? So we're not doing any dipping sauces, any aiolis, anything. It's up to you. You can add whatever you want. Some people's like, oh, just give me the mayonnaise, bam. You know what I mean?
Just make us the ketchup.
Well, ketchup, whatever it is, you can do that. But me, I'm a dipper. I love to dip my food, But I also love to just eat it straight up like this and just enjoy all the different flavors and without sauces and all of that to mask the different flavors.
Flavors, that's a different show.
Oh yeah, that's a different show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to pass me that?
Right.
Go ahead and get these on the plate. And you can
Nice.
start forming more.
Whoa.
You always gotta, no need paper napkin, just bust out the tea leaf.
Right.
There we go. And you see, right here. And we'll just go ahead and add them all in. Yep. Yep, there you go.
This is so awesome.
So,
Oh, look at that. Okay, waft my name.
it walks my name.
Wonderful.
Bit papa on that one. Oh, see, not ready. Not ready. You can tell ya. So I can actually kind of release them.
Oh, oh. All right, that was amazing, and it smells so good in here. These wonderful ulu patties. Mahalo.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, so right here again, take it through the process. What do we have?
So we did our pre-cooked ulu that we had frozen, defrosted. We had grated up like hashed potatoes, and then we mixed in one package of already mixed chopped sweet vegetables, radish, daikon radish, carrot, bean sprouts, green onions. Mixed that in with the ulu. We ended up using 3 eggs instead of 2. 1 can of your favorite corned beef, whichever one, the kind of grainy one, the more mashed up one, whatever corned beef you want. And I also wanted to know, you could do it with canned chicken, canned chicken breast.
There you
Could
go.
do that, or you could even do canned salmon.
Oh,
Yeah,
ulu
yeah,
salmon.
ulu salmon is really, really good. So you can change your protein out, but basically the same method. If you are vegan or vegetarian and you want to just take out the protein part of it, your bean sprouts, as you said, is a good replacement for protein. You could add in mashed beans, kidney beans, or some kind of maybe garbanzo beans or soybeans or some other protein to it. And then we season it with a little bit of my own homemade garlic salt, which is pa'akai with garlic, and just kind of put it in the oven. You just use regular salt, pepper, and that's it. Then fry it up. I use coconut oil to fry it up. You can use regular cooking oil, whatever your preference is, or you could even put it on the grill so that you're not frying
the grill.
Yeah. Just know that the secret is don't touch it. Put it down, let it cook. When you think it's ready to flip, step back and wait just a little bit longer. We use vola away, so we got some little bit more dark than usual.
So I like some of that papa.
Yeah, see, my husband too. My husband's like, oh, no, mine, I like the papa part, not me. But, and then, and that's it. You go ahead and serve it. You can turn this into a slider, use this as a burger.
Oh,
you can whip up a aioli. We were talking about the different, sriracha with the mayonnaise. That's a sriracha aioli. You can do sweet chili sauce with mayonnaise, wasabi with mayonnaise, or just plain mayonnaise or ketchup, whatever you're.
You add your own flavor.
Yeah.
Throw some neat oil on top there.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right.
But yeah, that's what it is, and enjoy. Be creative.
Be creative, and that again, we are using our beautiful fruit of the ulu, the breadfruit that goes throughout Hawaii. This is again, I want to really acknowledge this is the beautiful ulu that was grown right here in Waipio Valley.
Yes.
Momona, so available to us and showing the diverse uses that we can get from this one beautiful healthy starch. Gluten-free starch.
Yes. Yeah.
So, mahalo nui loa.
You're
We're going to enjoy these bad boys. They're already enjoying the smell. So if you guys want this smell and you want this flavor, you gotta go cook them up now. So from here, all of us here at Hamakua, the Hawaiian Cultural Center, the Ulu Co-op, a big aloha mahalo to you, Darty.
All right.
And again, mahalo to this new facility, or this facility here, the Waipio Cookhouse. Mahalo nui loa.
Yeah, until next time. We got more.
We've got a lot more. Yeah, we're going to show diverse. Miki aloha nui aoko. Ahui ho. Oh my god.
It's so good.
Oh, mahalo. Ano ai me ke aloha nui a oko. O wau o Joshua la nakila o ka aina I ka pono menguau. Coming to you from Hamakua, Hawaii Moku. I am the Executive Director for the Hawaiian Cultural Center of Hamakua, located in Honoka'a. And we're very, very honored to be able to participate and to partner with the Ulu Co-op of Hawaii on this special project featuring the ulu, the breadfruit, a very important Polynesian starch, native to the tropics, and very much bountiful here in Hawaii. This series of cooking shows with myself and my dear Tita friend Darty Gamayo is helping to share with you the variety of different things that we can do with this amazing local Polynesian starch. So with that, this initiative is also in response to the growing need for food security here in Hawaii, which many of us have been working toward for many years, and now this need very much exemplified during this time of the Ma'i'iki'iki Uvaiku, or the COVID-19 virus. Many of our communities, many of our families are struggling with many different things, and for many, even to keep food on the table. But there's so many ways that we can address this situation to be able to tap back in to the momona no keia aina, to the bountifulness of this land, to be able to tap back into these traditional foods that fed hundreds upon thousands of peoples on this island for thousands of years. And now, as our palates have evolved, as we're going to share with you a number of different recipes, some traditional and some very nice new innovative things that we can do with this ulu. Ulu itself is a plant that represents growth. And the story of the origins of ulu is so important, and it's connected to the Hawaiian akua, or the deity known as Ku. Ku ka ulu. Ikawa kahiko in the days of old Hawaii. There is a mo'olelo, the story that tells us of the origins of the ulu tree. It's connected to a deity known as Ku. Ku, which has to do with structure and order of community, as well as the mahiai, or the cultivator, the farmer. Ku is said that during a time of great drought and famine in Hawaii, offered himself, encouraging his community and his family to do his bidding. He prepared a great pit, and there put himself within it and told his family to bury him. This act of self-sacrifice, as everyone came over and wept, this sacrifice from the body of Ku grew the first ulu tree. There is no time like the present, a time of great need. We are taught to look back to this very land. We should look back to what our ancestors, our kupuna, presented. For again, this tree grows in great abundance and was here feeding hundreds of thousands of people for thousands of years. No time like the present to return back to a healthy starch, something that can help to replace a lot of things that we have to rely on outside sources to feed us. Why? When it literally dangles above our heads and falls to the ground. Ea no ʻUlu. Let us have growth and inspiration in our communities once again. Let us be inspired by this bountiful delicacy, ʻUlu, and the many, many different ways that we can prepare this and enjoy this fruit. And with that, e ola ʻUlu, e ola ke kanaka. E ke aloha nui a ʻoukou. Please enjoy these videos and please go out, get yourself some ulu, try these recipes. Me ke aloha nui a ʻoukou. Aloha.